Interphase Video, in cooperation with the Lancaster Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce, presents the 2019 Lancaster State of the City Address. Brought to you in part by Fairfield Federal, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Personal Touch Party Rentals, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
So we're here this morning for a special presentation honoring Scott Moyer. For those of you who don't know, Scott passed away on May 26, 2017 as a result of hepatitis C, which he contracted during a police operation. He broke through a window in order as a backup to help the active officer and was cut and was exposed to hepatitis C. So he served on the police force for 19 years, and he was honored at the Police Officer Memorial Day on May 15, 2018 in Washington, D.C. And his wife, Connie, is here to present this to Chief Pilar. This is a flag that was flown over the west wing of the Capitol on Police Officer Memorial Day. It also includes the casing of one of the shells from the 21-gun salute, and a letter from President and Mrs. Trump and from Paul Ryan, Speaker of the House. So Connie wants to present this to Chief Pilar to hang in police headquarters. So, Scotty was a well-respected member of the police force and will be remembered for even longer now that this memorial is going to be hanging in police headquarters. So congratulations, Chief, for accepting this. And maybe we can set it somewhere, maybe on the counter back there, so people can look at it as they go out, because it's indeed beautiful. Don't touch it, Connie. It is indeed a work of art. So great, congratulations. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. With that, we'll go ahead and get started here. Glad to see so many of you out today to support our fine community in the city of Lancaster. We really appreciate the opportunity to partner with the city of Lancaster on a multitude of things from a Chamber of Commerce standpoint, but certainly this is one opportunity each year that we get to showcase all the great things that our city and our city leaders are accomplishing throughout the year. So thank you for the partnership. Before we go much further, we certainly want to thank all the volunteers here at Olivedale that made our fine breakfast this morning. Let's give them a round of applause. And certainly Carla and her staff here for preparing the room and all the tables for us. A lot of work goes into this each year for them. Also want to take the opportunity to thank our sponsors. Without sponsors, it's difficult to make events like this happen. So thank you very much. Your sponsors are listed at the bottom of your placemat there. So if you see them, thank them for their support. Big thanks also to some Chamber of Commerce volunteers that we have today with us. Cheryl McNabb, Katie Uhl, Colin Hedico, and of course Cheryl Barber, who's a staff member of the Chamber of Commerce, for registration and helping us get in today. We very much appreciate that. Also, a thanks to our production partners, Interphase Video, and our media partner, Refreshing 90.9, who's broadcasting today. Also, today's event is being live streamed through Interphase Video, so folks are watching beyond this room, if you will. Also, that means be on your best behavior as well. Also, want to take an opportunity, if you are a public official, let's stand and thank you for your time and your dedication to our community. So public officials, if we could stand and be recognized. Thank you.
Well, good morning again. So I also wanted to thank Chris Collins for the lovely breakfast music that she played this morning while we were here. Thank you, Chris. A year ago, I stood here as a relatively new mayor, still climbing the steep side of the learning curve. I invested an hour or more talking about all the things I had learned about the city and its operations. A year later, I'm still learning, but have developed a few conclusions. They include, number one, I really enjoy the job. In fact, after a rewarding 40-year business career, this is my favorite job. If the voters are willing, I plan to stick around for another 4 years. Number two, no matter how good the news, there are 6 social media trolls who think it's the stupidest idea they ever heard. You can't make some people happy anytime. It rains a lot, causing problems for citizens that live in our flood-prone areas of the city. Number 4, Lancaster has all of the potential that I imagined, and as a result, the best is yet to come. There are many positive developments playing out that will have a big impact on the future betterment of our community. And number 5, Lancaster employees are led by a group of competent, dedicated, resourceful, and hardworking department heads. They're all over here at this table, some of whom are a little bit nervous right now. I'm going to sit down and let you get to know them a little better. You are about to hear from 12 who each have 10 to 15 slides that highlights their operations. The slides automatically advance after 20 seconds. So this program will be finished in 54 minutes. Guaranteed. Before we get to that, I would like to give a shout out to Service Safety Director Paul Martin, who's at home recuperating from knee replacement surgery. I know he's looking forward to getting back to work, and we're looking forward to having him back in the office. And finally, I want to announce, and maybe some of you already know this, that the official lighting of Mount Pleasant will occur on March 6th at 7:30 in the evening at Mount Pleasant School. So hopefully many of you can make it out to that ceremonial lighting. With that, we're going to get started. First up is Bill Burrows, Sanitation Superintendent.
The sanitation department, we average over 15,000 trash carts and 1,200 commercial customers per week. There's a great group of guys that goes out and does it. The cost of waste removal keeps going up, but we haven't raised your rates in almost 16 years. We just got a $10 per ton increase for this year at the landfill, so we're hoping to be able to, as you can see, that 795,000 will probably end up being over $1 million for next year. Cost of waste removal, like I said, it's $508 this year. The EPA disposal fee, $152,000 a year just because we have a transfer station. Bulk pickup started in 2016, and they keep steadily going up, where people will call us and we'll come clean up your furniture, whatever you have, clean out your garage. We have a crew with a special grapple truck that'll come and pick your trash up for you for a fee out there. We purchased the old lumberyard building next to the transfer station last year. We're using it. That's where we park all of our garbage trucks now. We have our toters stored there, and the old garage we turned into a dumpster repair shop, toter repair shop, and that's where we work on all of our garbage trucks, change our tires and everything. In June, we started passing out the trash carts. It was very eventful, took a long time, but by October, everything was smoothed out, and it's really smoothed out now. Most calls we get now is people's carts are missing or they've got run over by a car. You started seeing our side load trucks in August of last year. It reduces the having to have 3 guys on a truck down to 1 truck. We have 2 of those trucks now, and it really helped us out during our busy time at Christmas. We were able to catch Christmas up in 1 week, and that's really unheard of. What you're seeing now is the way some of the alleys used to look here in Lancaster. We started a no trash left behind policy last year, and now we go down through, we clean it up, and we charge the homeowner or the resident, whoever placed it out there. A lot of people, some people don't call in for a bulk pickup, they just throw it out there. We started composting in October, thanks to Brad Hutchinson and Company Wrench. He loaned us a lot of equipment. This is one of his grinders that grind all the yard waste up, and eventually by middle of this year we're hoping to be making mulch out of it. Cartograph is a new to us. It's a program where you might see your garbage man taking a picture of a pile of trash. It goes onto this. Scott Snyder from the IT department really worked this out and taught us all how to use it, and the picture will come to my office. We decide the price and the charge for it. Everybody in our department, I got a great group of people, all 21 of us. Everybody chips in. As you can see, if our secretary has to go out and help with the RKs and stuff, we do it. I mean, we only have 20 employees, so they're a great bunch. Every one of them chips in, and we pick up all the trash and everything we can with those 20.
Good morning. My name's Sean Fowler. I'm Code Enforcement Director with the City of Lancaster. I'm pleased to be here with you this morning to discuss code enforcement. We're going to talk a little bit about some highlights, some things, some demolitions, some great points that the code enforcement program was able to achieve. So first, a brief overview of funding for code enforcement. Code enforcement is a general fund department. We are tasked with doing the International Property Maintenance Code, Lancaster Codified Ordinances, and other Ohio Revised Code and other codes as it pertains to properties in the city limits of Lancaster. My next slide is going to be our staff. For many of you that are aware of the code enforcement program, you don't know how happy I am to have a staff picture. For many years, it was just myself. So these three people, along with myself, it's amazing what we're able to get through, get done on a daily basis, and we really have a great staff, and I couldn't do it without them. So I wanted to touch upon something that a lot of people don't realize. There's Fairfield County Land Bank that we have been working very closely with. We identify properties. These properties get demolished, repurposed, whatever the choice is depending on the condition of the property. So I wanted to go through some of these that I'm sure people have driven by and didn't realize were gone or why they were gone. So the first one's 302 West 6th Avenue. It's a property that has been worked through code enforcement for a number of years. We got it identified. As you can see, the before and after picture of what that parcel looks like now, which it's amazing. You look at that corner. I know everybody's drove by it and you wonder how there was ever a house there. Next is 1125 Zimmer. This was over beside Hawking Park. This was vacant for many years. We had a lot of drug activity. We kept securing the property. Doors were getting kicked in, finding needles and all kinds of unfortunates there. So that property is now demolished and part of the park. So next one is 621 Lincoln Avenue. This is a vacant property that magically had 2 separate fires in 1 year as a vacant property with no electric. So we can probably guess maybe how that happened. So now it is gone, cleaned up, and actually I had somebody this morning ask me about that property being demolished. 606 West Wheeling. It's another property that was, there was a death, property set vacant for a while, and now the condition of the property, we identified it to the land bank. Michael Capers here, appreciate your help in all these endeavors. And then we have a great announcement that I think everybody's going to be excited about. It's 807 East Main Street. That is the old working man's friend. So thank you. There's a grant, there's cleanup, they're starting the phase projects and through the land bank, and we've been working hard with them to get this identified. The land bank now owns the property, and it will be cleaned up, all the tanks removed and demolished. So the land bank by numbers. So 50 properties since the land bank's been here we've torn down in just Lancaster. That's been a total grant benefit of $650,000 to the residents of the city of Lancaster. I think that's huge. Obviously, when I have a budget of a couple $100,000. So here's some stats for you. So We last year we did 5,273 total inspections. So 2 part-time persons, a full-time person, and a clerk. 20% of those were proactive. That's the first time ever we've had that kind of number, and part of that is due to the new part-time employee we have. So abatement-wise, we did 595 total abatements last year, whether that be cutting grass, removing junk, painting graffiti over, items like that. So as you can see by the graph, that's definitely increased by the increased staffing. So we're really pleased that what we're able to get done. So lastly, if you have any questions, our number is 740-652-2699. Most of us call us Evil, so we're Dr. Evil.
Good morning, Mike Tharp, Superintendent, your Lancaster Parks and Recreation. We'll get these things sliding here. Lancaster Park since 1909. We're 110 years old this year. Rising Park, Alley Park, Olivedale are 3 kind of cornerstones. Fountain Square, Veterans Square, and Bandstand, the 3 that make the downtown just a beautiful place to be. 30 properties, 28 of which are parks. We have 800 plus acres. That is a huge park system for 40,000 employees. Last year, 17 and 18, we gave our facelift to our swimming pools. In 18, we broke every attendance and concession record since 2006. We brought back pool dances, movie nights, and for the first time in 2018, we actually made a profit in your swimming pools. Yeah, wow. 180 adults played kickball. Kickball in Rising Park last year, partnership with Lancaster Disc Golf Alliance, Cornhole League that we have in Alley Park right now, a partnership with the Men of Stone rugby team. In 2020, we will take back and run Lancaster Youth Football League. Unheard of. They're coming back to us. Spring of last year, we signed up 356 children in soccer. 4-year-olds were brought into the program in the fall. This year, just last week, we signed up 506 Lancaster kids into the program. 800 soccer kids will be playing soccer in Lancaster, 800 plus. That's 300 from the county schools that come in also. Pancake breakfast coming up, maple tapping in Alley Park on March 9th. We have 12,000 plus visitors in our programs in Alley Park each year. That lodge serves more than 100 rentals to this park system each year. Very, very proud of what we do at Alley Park and that staff. You're sitting in a building that houses the Olivedale Senior Membership. 3,000 plus members belong to Olivedale. We are the most active social senior center in Central Ohio, bar none. Cards, bingo, billiards, ping pong, dance, and a lot of food. This is the place to be if you're a senior in this town. We are opening downstairs the new Lancaster Parks and Recreation Health and Fitness Center. It is a 35 and over health and fitness center. $24 a year to belong to this. Beats the heck out of Planet Fitness. 40 plus machines downstairs, a therapy pool, lots of classes. If you want to belong to a gym and you're 35 and over, this is the place to be. Thank you to our community partners, Friends of the Lancaster Parks, Destination Downtown Lancaster, Visit Fairfield County, the Lancaster Festival, Fairfield Federal, and Fairfield National Banks. We could not do what we do without you. Thank you very much. Next slide. This is going to be a speed slide. Here we go. 23 soccer fields, 11 playgrounds, 11 shelter houses, 11 tennis courts, 9 miles of bike trails, 7 miles of hiking trail, 4 bodies of water, even more right now, 2 disc golf courses, 3 swimming pools, a senior center, and outdoor education. We have it all. Friday night bandstand, as soon as the slide switches, there we go. We have played to a record number of people here lately in the last couple years, and this will be no different this year. We open up with Bad Influence, Silverado, These Guys Live, Dirty Jack, British Invasion, Blue Steel, Hillbilly Deluxe. 12 weeks of free entertainment on Friday nights in downtown Lancaster. Great place to be, and look at the crowds. It's amazing what we've accomplished there. Big thank you to the departments that help us. LDOT, Sanitation, Engineering, Stormwater, Utilities, Gas, Water, Transit, Police, and Fire. They all play a huge role in the vehicles we have and what we do on a daily basis. Really, thank you. Hats off to those departments. Could not do what we do without them. Lancaster Tree Commission, we've been around since 1975. 1981, this city received its first Tree City USA award. We have done that for 38 years in a row. The last 3 years in a row, we have received growth awards. Those growth awards mean we are making significant improvements with what we do with our urban forest. Thanks to the Mayor, Service Safety Director, City Council, and the Tree Commission members. 2019, nope, let's back up one. All Accessible Santa, a program, an all abilities program we started a few years back. It's for all abilities to experience Santa in the park without the crowds and the lines that we have on normal nights. This is a partnership with Fairfield Board of Developmental Disabilities. 2019, one of a kind, coming to Lancaster, an all-accessible, multi-generational playground. Lancaster Parks, along with Kiwanis of Lancaster, have raised more than $175,000 of this $300,000 it's going to take to put this playground in. It is going in August of this year. Make no doubt, this is one of a kind. Thank you to the Park Board of Lancaster. Thank you to the men and women that work in this department. Thank you to the volunteers and the support for this Lancaster Park system. We rock.
Adam Pilar, Lancaster Police Department. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the realities that our police officers and the types of calls they handle in the city, some of the challenges that I see coming in the next few years, and some of the successes we've had. Our call volumes have been steadily rising. If you look at this next slide, just to give you a visual, red means that type of call has gone up, green means it's gone down. So I want to direct your attention to emergency admissions. That call number did go down, but we did 349 last year. That's not the times that we deal with a person in crisis. That's the times that we take them to the hospital for their own safety and well-being. That's almost one a day that we're doing that. When I first became a police officer 20 years ago, we did that maybe once a month. This is our total call volumes. It's steadily rising. We're up about 10% over 2018. As a police department, we still respond to non-injury private property accidents, lockouts, a lot of things that other police departments don't do. We are kind of approaching a point where we may have to make choices on what type of service we want. This is our number of warrant arrests here. They've tripled almost tripled since 2014. This puts a big pressure on our officers. Half of our uses of force are with people that have warrants. So as that number has gone up, our uses of force has gone up. We're feeling the pressure from people that don't want people in prison, but it does put the risk on our officers and on the public. This is me, and I put this video up here, I'm getting tased, just so you know that I do know how it feels. I don't want to have our citizens go through that. But like I said, approximately half of our use of forces are people that have warrants. We're not there serving the warrant. We're not like looking for these people. We're finding them because of domestics or shopliftings or other things. This is Narcan. This is the spray we use to bring back people that have overdosed on heroin and opioids. We're actually currently seeing about 8-to-1 or 9-to-1 meth to heroin. People on meth tend to have a little more violent episodes than people on heroin, and they also they're more susceptible to excited delirium syndrome. That can be fatal, and I'm worried that we're going to have a fatality on our watch. These were 3 of our 4 major cases last year. Miss Bauer's murder, the Teresa Shook MP. We actually had found her within 48 hours of being notified that she was missing. We used a drone out of Franklin County for that. We had to borrow one from Franklin County SO. And the Jared Welsh attempted murder, that's still ongoing. This is the Kevin Johnson hit skip. This is a slide of the surveillance video of that. It's not very good, but we were happy to get it because our only witness was a person with addiction issues. He described the car wrong and actually had the directions of the car and the bike were going wrong. So we had over 100 hours in this case. It's just indicative of the type of work that goes into one of those. In the next 15 years, or next 5 years, we're going to lose 15 employees, 6 officers, 5 supervisors, 2 comtechs, over 320 years of police experience. That's going to be a lot to replace, and it's really going to raise the emphasis on training. And what are we hiring? Here they are, these bright, shining new Gen Z faces. We're actually in competition with Columbus and those suburbs for these people. We try to hire intelligence and character. I figure we can teach you the rest. But, you know, Reynoldsburg's hiring 12 this year. So that's really going to pressure us to get the best, the cream of the crop. I like what I see about Gen Z. They tend to lean towards security And they also they like competition. So I'm a competition guy. I think you grow, and competition pushes you to grow. Lancaster's a great place to work and live. We got a good standard of living here. Our police department's stable, and I think that it will play in our favor when we fight for those candidates. This is the opening seconds of a drill we did out at Lancaster High School last fall. It was the largest drill that I'd been in outside the military. There were dozens of agencies. There were over 100 first responders at this drill. The lead up to this drill, we did training for every police officer and fire department person in Lancaster. So we had just trainings up to it, and essentially the drill was a test. It worked very well for us. We proved some concepts that I think will save lives in the future should we ever have an event like this. We moved schedules around to do it. 1/3 of our force actually participated in that drill. This is Next Gen 911. I'm hoping this gets done in the springtime. As you look at that, essentially it's texting to 911 instead of just calling. But we were mandated by the state to do that. When you see where it says $135,000 of tariff monies, that's money you pay on your phone bill that gets reimbursed back to us based on the percentage of calls that we answer. And this is one of the best things about being at Lancaster Police Department. We actually do get to go out and volunteer in the community, and it's fun. I want to give a shout out to Lancaster Police Citizens Academy alumni. They actually fundraise and they coordinate these events, and we just get to show up in uniform and have fun and play with kids. So, thank you.
Hi there, I'm Greg Hintz. I'm the superintendent of the Department of Transportation. LDOT maintains roughly 184 centerline miles of roadways, 41 miles of alleys, 85 signalized intersections, over 5,000 street signs, 283 city-owned street lights, over 4,900 storm manholes and inlets, 87.5 miles of storm sewers, 6 cemeteries, and a central fuel depot. This is our salt storage facility. Picture on the left, picture on the right is how we load it. The capacity of that building is about 2,400 tons, and it houses about 30,000 gallons of liquid and additive. Here is a picture of us using a multi truck configuration on Memorial Drive this winter. We do this on a lot of our 4 lanes, Fair Avenue, Main Street, so on and so forth. This is us chip sealing in the alleys. It gives you kind of an idea of the application process. You've got the liquid going down and the stone box coming directly behind it to cover that all up. This is your finished product. We do all of our own chip seal in-house with all of our own employees. So it's relatively economical to do this. We also do some culvert replacements. The left picture there is an open cut that we do. The right picture is a trenchless, slip-lined process that we've used. We also take care of sinkholes. This one here is on Memorial Drive last year, northbound lane, Park Street. It doesn't look real big in this picture here. This kind of puts it in perspective. This is a couple of our employees down in a trench box making that repair. So it got fairly deep. This is this is a picture of traffic control cabinet. It's one of 85 that we have deployed out on the street. This is what the inside of every one of them looks like. Picture on the right is just one of 283 of the street lights that we maintain in the downtown Memorial Drive, Edie Road area. We also manage and oversee 6 cemeteries. We have over 122 acres of property. Residency is well over 33,000. So that keeps us busy. Here's our annual budgets that LDOT's responsible for. We do all this work and more with 28 employees, 24 of which are in LDOT, and 4 are in the cemetery division. And here's some of the faces of the men and women that serve this community and its citizens every day. Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Jeff Davis. I'm the building official here in Lancaster. I just thought I'd talk about some highlights of building projects here in the city in 2018. We have a new staff member, Kevin Funk. He's recently joined the building department team. Kevin is our permit clerk and the first person you will normally see when visiting our department. Kevin, as all the staff, is in the process of learning to use a new software program. The new program is a cloud-based program to help customers track their permits and building projects. And as you can see here by this graph, residential and commercial building has been growing pretty steady. Now with some projects. The Midhoff is now a downtown centerpiece. The Midhoff was at one time slated for demolition. Thankfully, a concerned citizen came to the Midhoff's rescue, and a total repair and remodel of the structure was completed this year. It features residential as well as business uses. And the former Lancaster sales, the retail store sat empty for several years until an investor recognized the value of the site and renovated and updated systems, making the building as a retail center again. And you might know it's the Peddler's Junction now. And we have the 2 new middle schools being built. They're going to replace aging buildings in new locations with sites large enough to accommodate athletic fields. And the new schools have identical floor plans, and they feature air conditioning and technologies that are missing at the current schools. And the Planet Fitness we spoke of earlier. It's a new exercise center for those who want to get fit. It was formerly a grocery store that closed its doors a few years ago and now has a new life. The building was renovated with all new electrical, plumbing, and mechanicals. The Tree Church, kind of the same scenario. It was completed last summer. It was a retail space. It's since been converted to a new updated use. And when they change uses like this, they're brought into compliance with the current codes, which make them safer than they were before. And then we have the mill, the event center now. It's had different uses over the years. A mill, of course, an old country store when I was a kid, and more recently a bar and a nightclub. The new owners renovated the building to contain an event center with a full commercial kitchen and residential living. We recently had a new builder come to town and bring in plans to build single-family homes. Way Journey, they've purchased 12 empty lots in different areas of the city. This will help, obviously, supply some living units that are becoming in short supply. And way out east, Gorsuch is working on the 2nd or 3rd phase of the Primrose. It's 2 and 4 family dwellings. The neighborhood's already had its infrastructure installed previously on the 1st phase, and so the water and sewer utilities are all there, ready, and that will speed up the building process for those. And you probably heard East Elementary was vacated when they built the new schools, when a local company has purchased the site, Gorsuch, and has plans to develop 60+ new market rate residential living units, including 25 or more in the remodeled former school building. Another former school, Cedar Heights Elementary, has been purchased and renovated to become the new location for Fairfield County Meals on Wheels. Interior renovations include a new commercial kitchen and a large cooler, of course. They'll need that. And then the wellness center being built. Fairfield Medical Center is building the rehabilitation and urgent care facility on the north end. It will feature emergency care, medical offices, and an indoor swimming pool for rehabilitation. I think there's going to be a walking track in there too. Midwest Coatings out of Amanda. Midwest Fabrication has expanded manufacturing facilities to Lancaster now, and the new facility coats and paints steel products for automotive industry, mainly trucks. One other newcomer is CFM Global. This company manufactures fiber media for a wide range of air filters. They recently expanded here from out of state, bringing more jobs. The renovations included upgrades to the fire alarm and sprinkler systems, adding safety to a long empty, and much needed upgrades. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Denise Cruz, I'm the Stormwater Manager. Well, what can I say? In 2018 it rained a lot, about 20 inches above normal. And don't be fooled by the sunshine, it's still raining. We're about 10 inches over normal as of today. When it rains, there's 3 laws of physics that I can't change. Water flows downhill, water reaches its own level, and water takes a path of least resistance. Combine that with a lot of rain and you get flooding. I can't do anything about that. It doesn't mean we don't try. In 2018, we invested about $3 million in capital improvement projects, including the Cherokee Drive drainage improvements, which was an Ohio EPA mandated sewer separation project, part of our long-term control plan. We're concerned about our existing infrastructure. We want to make sure that we maintain it and avoid problems before they happen. Pershing Drive storm sewer replacement was one of those projects. We rerouted a storm sewer that was going next to people's houses and through backyards out into the public right-of-way and upgraded that infrastructure. Fetters Run stream restoration was a flood control and water quality project. We do this with funding from a number of different sources, along with money from the stormwater utility. So in 2019, we have about $7 million worth of projects in various stages ready to go this year. Park Street sewer lining is another capital improvement project to maintain existing infrastructure. Montague Drive will replace a failing culvert and head wall. Union Mulberry 3 is the next phase of the Glasgow Park project to deal with localized flooding. And Lateral B floodplain restoration is a project to restore floodplain and protect existing infrastructure. And of course, our big project is the Ohio EPA mandated 5th-6th Forest Rows project that will be started this fall and is a sewer separation project in that area. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Mike. I'm representing your Division of Water and Water Pollution Control Departments. First, I'd like to thank our staff. This has been a tough winter for the guys in the water department. A lot of main line breaks with the cold weather, so they're wet and cold. And then the wastewater people, they work out in the weather in not a very pleasant environment to begin with, so I want to thank them. The Division of Water facilities consist of 2 water treatment plants, 2 booster stations, 5 storage tanks that have approximately 9 million gallons of water, about 176 miles of water mains, and approximately 1,900 fire hydrants. So it's a pretty complex system. Groundwater is one of Lancaster's most valuable resources. Protecting the Hocking River aquifer is very important to the city. We have a wellhead protection ordinance that is part of the zoning code that tries to protect the aquifer from any spill that would potentially be dangerous and could degrade the water supply. The Miller Park Water Treatment Plant is the oldest of our 2 facilities. It is an ion exchange. We produce roughly 2.3 million gallons a day, or about 824 million gallons of water out of that facility on an annual basis. The second facility we have is the South Water Treatment Facility. That was a modern facility, a nanofiltration plant that was put online in 2004, roughly $25 to $30 million investment. It's 1.7 million gallons a day, or about 613 million gallons annually out of that facility. The water distribution, those guys have been busy here with the cold snap. They have 176 miles of mains, 4-inch to 12 plus, 1,900 fire hydrants, and then we also have about 16,000 meters and touch pads that we have to keep track of to make sure that we get the revenues to support our department. The Water Pollution Control Department, it consists of 2 wastewater treatment plants as well as 10 pumping stations that allow the water to get from the residents to the treatment plants with the hills and valleys in Lancaster. Unfortunately, not everything can get to us by gravity. The Lawrence Street Water Pollution Control Facility was first constructed in the late 1930s. It's been updated several times. We discharged about 2.7 billion gallons of water to the Hocking River, about 7.3 million gallons a day, and we also discharged almost 1,000 dry tons of sewage sludge out on farmers' fields. The Upper Hocking Water Pollution Control Facility was put online in 2011, about 1.7 million gallons a day last year, 615 million gallons of water to the Hocking River north of the city. It's designed for 2 million gallons a day. During dry flow, it'll be about 1 million. I will now turn it over to Mitch.
Good morning. Mitch Nolan, city engineer. Going to talk about a few projects in 2018 as well as some upcoming things happening for 2019. First one here is the Pierce Avenue project that was completed in the earlier part of 2018. This project was utilized through our STP funding, Surface Transportation Funding. It was about a $1.1 million project. Our local match with our 3 mil levy funds was about $60,000. Another project is our Kanawha Road. This was part of our 3 mil paving program. We spend approximately about 1.2 to 1.4 million on resurfacing projects each year through that program, and this was one of the roads that was completed in 2018. In the latter part of the year, this was Corey Road. This was through Ohio Public Works Commission. This was a grant that we received through them, which was about a 74-26 split in terms of funding. Again, a great project that we received through OPWC. And some changes along Memorial Drive. This was that corridor is kind of changing in terms of a more urbanized setting. We have a new signal that's going to be going into play here soon, and so you'll see another stoplight. Sorry. As well as an additional, beyond the Fairfield Medical Center signal, there was the improvements along North Columbus Street as well, near Bush Hill Drive. This was part of the improvements for the Fairfield Medical Center project. An exciting project that we're going to be we're working on now in the design phases is the Edie Road project between North Columbus Street and Memorial Drive. There's a picture of what it looks like today. It's a pretty small roadway if you've driven on that, about 20 feet wide. So we're excited about this project forthcoming. There are a lot of players in this project in terms of funding. We have the Highway Safety Program, the Lancaster City Schools, Stormwater Department, the 320 Capital Improvement Fund, engineering funding. There's a lot of players in this improvement of Edie Road at this section. And I'm going to have a shout out to the county engineer's office. This is their project up the road, which kind of intertwines with our Edie Road project, but there are some major changes that coming at Election House Road and County Road 33A, Memorial Drive, and North Columbus Street. Another project that will be happening here in 2019 is our Cedar Hill Road project. This is a $3.7 million project. This is going to be through ODOT. The ODOT is running this project. We are a participant in that, and resurfacing of Cedar Hill Road and some other improvements. And then additionally, the intersection of Main and Memorial. This will be getting some new mast arms and signals and pedestrian movements, which will help with pedestrian movements across a lot to do with probably the JFS people that walk across that section of roadway to get to the building there. Aside from roadway projects, this is another thing that I've been working on for probably 2 to 3 years, and the next 3 slides are kind of all culminated together. The reason why microcells and small cells is being mentioned here, because this was the kind of the epicenter or the start of our right-of-way ordinance that we've been working on for so long. We deal with a lot of things in the right-of-way. This slide here shows approximately 24 things that I came up with. There's actually probably more than that. And when we're dealing with a 60-foot strip of land with so many things to deal with, there are a lot of conflicts when it comes to underground utilities. So we're really excited about the right-of-way ordinance that we're going to be trying to get off the ground this year. It'll be going in front of City Council once we get it finalized, and we're extremely excited about being able to manage our right-of-way better. So this slide is my favorite slide. Chief Ward doesn't know about this one, but I've been waiting for this one. So this was part of the ALS challenge several years back. I got a shout out to Sean Fowler for being the bucket man with the ice, and also Bob Campetti for getting such a good shot here. So Mr. Safety is up next.
My name is Dave Ward. I'd like to thank the Lord for not allowing me to be an engineer. How boring would that be? We've been around for a long time, Lancaster Fire Department has, and I'd like to say that we're kind of an outdated name. We do far more than just fires anymore, and a lot of it's EMS. Last year we created an EMS position. 90 to 95% of our business is EMS. This position is in charge of keeping us out of trouble with the Medicare, Medicaid. We generate $1.2 million worth of EMS funds for the general fund. It's a big deal, and it's been we do quality control with that as well. Mayor, the slide's not moving very fast. We started last year with major crimes. We do the opiate response task force. We train 9 of our guys to go out once we take in an overdose patient and FMC stabilizes them. If they're willing to get help, we send one of our guys out there to try and help them in whatever way we can, along with social services, to get them the help. Hopefully they get out of an addiction, but also it doesn't become a problem for our system. We train. If you remember Columbine and then the Pulse nightclub shooting, people die when they have these active shooters because we as EMS aren't going in there quick enough. So we've changed our policies so that we can get in there. You can bleed out within 3 minutes if you hit your femoral artery. So with police's help and protection, we get in there and we do our job and get them out. ESO, we started reporting to the state in 1998. This is the first year that we've changed our whole platform from EMS, fire, inspections, hospital interface. For example, if we go on a medic run last month and we go again today and you're unconscious, that's going to populate all your history, your medical history, your meds, whatever it might be to help us give better treatment to you. We changed our medical control director. Thank you to Dr. Pruitt. He gave us advance notice that he was no longer going to do it. KJ Watts, our assistant chief, went out and vetted a lot of different places. We decided on MEC, which is several departments, as you can see on the screen. We get not only a trauma doctor, we get a pediatric doctor, we get a lot of other stuff. Clean trucks. You all know firefighters have a higher incidence of cancer. This is our first effort to try and reduce that. It used to be we'd get asbestos-related cancers. Now we get the myelomas, the leukemias, the other type of those omas. And we're trying to keep our gear away from the patient, away from us, so that we have a nice future going forward. So that's our first try. We've always been aggressive with our grants. We've received over $1 million in the past. Last year we received $24,000 for our thermal imagers. Thermal imagers allow us to see through the dark and find the hot spots in the building. It also allows us to extract people that we can't see necessarily through the smoke. So we do aggressively go after grants as well. Thanks to council, the mayor, safety director, for allowing us to order a 2019 fire truck. It should be in late this year or first of 2020. It really positions us well for the next 10 to 15 years. That's about a $570,000 truck, so they always go up about 3 to 5% a year. It's not an insignificant amount. It came through fire impact. It was no general fund money. Training. Contrary to what Chief Plar might have you believe, we don't sit around and watch cooking shows or say yes to the dress. We're constantly training. Each guy trained at least 121 hours. The state requires a lot of us, and so we are always out there doing training, whether it's on the lighting of the mountain. Thank you. We can extract people off that well. Testing. Over 2.5 miles of hose has to be tested annually. We do that on crew. Our fire pumps have to be tested, nozzles, and we all do that on shift. So in between the runs and the training and cooking, we do a lot of our own testing. SCBAs, our masks, we do that in-house as well. And they do a great job. ISO, this is something you should probably pay attention to. All of you business owners and homeowners, every 10 years they come into our city, they sit down with us and they look at 5 different things. And Mike Nixon and Adam Pilar, they do a great job with dispatching and water supply. There's 2 things that concern me about this. Last time we did it was in 08. We were almost a 3 category. Not enough time. Sorry. In 09, we had a $9.2 million budget. I'm proud to say that we've done very well. We're good stewards of your money. We're $50,000 less this year than we were 10 years ago. And in staffing, if you look back 40 years ago, we had 67 firefighters. Today we have 69. We're about 8,000 more runs today, plus we do a lot more than what we ever did back in '79. And it's really gives, it's a testament to our guys. We've done a lot of paradigm shifting, and we're doing a great job out there. And it's a good staff. I'm very happy and proud of those guys.
And so I'm Carrie Woody, your transit director, and I was also just awarded Miss Transit Ohio by Chief Ward and Chief Pilar. And although I don't know why they made up this award, I think it may be because we have a commitment to safety. So who am I to argue with the kings of safety, right? So here's a little bit about public transit. We have 2 types of service. Our first type is called demand response. That's where you're going to call our office, talk to one of these lovely ladies, and they're going to schedule a time. It's a 30-minute window for the driver to pick you up. You're going to pay a $1 or $2 fare, and then they're going to take you to your scheduled destination. Our other type of service are those flex routes. We operate 5 now. We have 4 that leave the JFS West Wheeling hub, and they operate an hourly loop with scheduled stops. You stop at you just go to your favorite bus stop, you hop on, you pay 25 cents or 50 cents, and then you get off at whatever stop you desire. We also have 1 that we operate in Pickerington. So our number 1 loop, again, we leave that West Wheeling hub every hour. We head on that Memorial Corridor, heading as far north as Meyer. We turn around, hitting several stops on the way back, end up at that West Wheeling hub at the end of every hour. You can also hop on our number 2 route, and that is going to take you down South Columbus to South Broad, over to Olivedale. You're going to head Lincoln Avenue to East Main, all the way to Sells Road, and then we head back toward that West Wheeling hub, hitting several stops on Main Street on our way back. If you don't like those stops, then you're more than welcome to hop on our number 3 loop, and that is going to take you to the west side of town. You're going to head out to Hunter's Trace, hit Cedar Hill, over to West Fair, all the way out to the Rock Mill Industrial Park. We're going to hit Edie Road, Pierce Avenue, West Fair, West 6th Avenue, West 5th, and then end up again where? Back at the West Wheeling hub. You're getting this, right? If you're still looking for more stops, then you can hop on the number 6. It's going to head east out 6th Avenue. We're going to go down Sheridan Drive, hitting Tiki Lane. We're going to head out to Rainbow Drive, Independence, 37, circle around, hitting the Board of DD, Lancaster High School, down Arbor Valley, back to 6th Avenue, stopping at the library, and ending where? West Wheeling Hub. You guys feel free to play along. If you want to get out of town, you can head to Pickerington. We leave every morning at 8 a.m. with a stop in Carroll at Benson Park. We head to Pickerington, where we run our loops from 9 to 4, and then head back to Lancaster. If you'll notice our beautiful new schedule, that is compliments of Miss Marketing Ohio, Donna Salter, who donated her time and talent to make us look pretty dang awesome. So thank you, Donna, if you're here. So how do we do it? We operated on just over a $2 million budget. 65% of that is paid for with state and federal grants. The other 35% are local funds that include our fairs, City County General Fund, Meals on Wheels grant, other local grants, and then we also sell advertising on our vehicles. Hint, hint. So some of the new things that we have a new scheduling software system that allows you to schedule online. You can choose to receive a call the night before your trip, the day of your trip, a text message alert the day of, or you can even download an app and handle all of your transportation needs in the palm of your hand. That's huge for us. We've never had this technology before, so we're excited. We've also added a new Saturday flex route. So combining some of those stops from all of our current existing routes in Lancaster, we want one loop the first Saturday of every month. And although it's in a pilot program right now, the first 3 months have had an overwhelming response, so we really think this is going to become a permanent service. What's coming after 3 years of begging, and thanks to the Fairfield County Foundation, the Ohio Department of Transportation, and City Engineer Mitch Noland, we finally get our very first bus shelter. So later this spring, you're going to see new sidewalks, curbs, curb ramps, crosswalk, and a pretty shelter similar to what you see on the screen here. And we are very excited about that. We also received a grant so that we can renovate our driver training / break room. And although you're not very excited about that, our drivers will finally have heat and air conditioning, and they're going to lose those garage doors that leak water when it rains, getting rid of those slippery conditions when it's wet, which is gaining safety points with our safety kings as well. So we're excited to do that. So why does this matter to you? Simple. We are bringing customers to your businesses. We're bringing employees to some of your businesses. And some of your employees are able to work every day because we're taking their family members to doctor's appointments, medical appointments, school, and even soccer practice. So on behalf of Transit, remember, safety first.
All right, I'm Mike Pettit. I'm the Economic Development Director, the Director of the Lancaster Port Authority, and General Manager of Lancaster Municipal Gas. When companies come to Lancaster, they usually come down 33, and they come to my office, which was close to the bypass, and they come to my office, they go out to the site, they don't really see the community. And so the Lancaster Port Authority just completed the renovation of the second floor of City Hall, that we can bring companies downtown and get a better feel for our community. Complete Filter Media, we announced them last year at this event. They are in production as of November of 2018, and they are running their first line, have hired over 20 people already. There are more polyester lines coming, and then in the future will be a glass fiber line. Andrew Boyd is the third generation leader of Blue Label Digital, which was once OneRight, and is really transforming this company. They will be expanding 20,000 square feet this year, adding over 30 jobs. And it's about as millennial as you can see. It's a beautiful facility. Midwest Coatings, they are in production as well. They are also, they do powder coatings of metal work, and they're also the distribution point for all of Midwest Fabricating. Max Container Options, that's his unique venture, but it's the folks that had bought the LS building. They moved into it and found they couldn't do industrial work in a commercial zone. So they've purchased a building on Fulkerson. It's 250,000 square feet. They have multiple items planned, and the containers homes are getting very popular. Carbon Court, this was the old Rayovac battery plant. The Port Authority cleaned up this site. It was over $1.5 million cleanup. This is the only building that was left, but the Port Authority completely renovated it, and we now have a startup plastic operations in this building. Our spec building, 50,000 square foot. Buildings typically of this type set for 3 years, and that's about where we're at. And it was built by the Port Authority as well to attract industry. It has driven up our at-bats. Site visits before the building were about 5 per year. We're now over 15. Site Ohio, we have 3 sites. We're one of only just a couple of communities in the state that have 3 sites that are being certified. 2 of them just completed, and we're waiting on the letter from the Army Corps of Engineers to finalize the 3rd. It's a very extensive process, but the state will be advertising these sites aggressively and improve our chances of success. Our portfolio just added a 27-acre rail site. We call it the Bingo site. It's out next to, it's owned by Lancaster Bingo. And we just received a $21,000 grant to start the certification process on this site as well. Switching to gas a little bit, we do have major projects going on. You see the map of the area. It's kind of north central area of Lancaster. Complete main line and service line change out. So improving the safety of the community and the reliability. Also for reliability, we've just put into place last year our new interconnect with Texas Eastern. We had currently served with 4 interconnects with TransCanada, and so this gives us an insurable supply in case there were an interruption on that other pipeline system, and provides us in a competitive nature. We embrace technology. Our trucks have Wi-Fi, our trucks have iPads, our trucks have laptops. We have GPS units that we can pinpoint the locations of our pipeline sub 3-inch accuracy. So it's a tremendous improvement. Our solar field is called Our Solar. It is owned and operated by South Central Power. You can rent these panels. 800,000 kilowatt hours have been generated this year, and that offset about 1.2 million tons of CO2 emissions. Mark Eichhorn has returned as president of Anchor Hocking. We have good news coming there. Tank number 3, they're currently only operating tank number 1, but tank number 3 will be in operation by fall, so we'll see increased jobs there. Also, the Oneida group, the warehousing in Savannah is closing within a couple of months, and all that product will move to Lancaster, increasing jobs at the DC Center. Project Timbertop, 77-acre development. It's currently owned by Brad Hutchison, who you've heard a lot from here today, and he's a tremendous partner for the economic development of our community. This is a major investment, and it's in the design stages, but it'll be over 350 residential units of mixed variety of condo, multifamily, assisted living, and other things. So as a confidential nature, my world is very, very confidential, and we had hoped to have a couple of announcements today. But beyond our control, there are things that we just cannot say. But please know that March is expected to be a great month in this city. So stay tuned. News is coming. Thank you.
How about another big hand for our department heads who are really out of their element here this morning? As I said, there were a lot of nerves here yesterday in dress rehearsal and this morning, so I'm really grateful, and I hope they demonstrated what I believe, that they are an extremely competent, dedicated, caring group. So thanks for coming. I promised 54 minutes, and I think we hit it, so have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine before it starts raining again.
Interphase Video, in cooperation with the Lancaster Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce, presents the 2019 Lancaster State of the City Address. Brought to you in part by Fairfield Federal, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Personal Touch Party Rentals, and Buckeye Lake Marina.